We've been getting together here for many years to talk about the early days of single sideband. This is K5LYN. My name's Lynn. I'm in Austin. And I'll say a little bit about this station, and we'll pass this thing around. We've got a list of earlies, and if you were an early and we forgot to get you down, let us know you were here. When we take check-ins, and we'll get everybody. We got several net controls. I'm on a radio from 1951 called the Central Electronics 10A. 1951, the first single sideband exciter in the world that was available in a store that you could buy. There were a lot of people working on their home brew stations, but this was one you could buy. 1951, I always like to say that was when General Eisenhower was figuring on being president someday. And in 1951, my family was moving me to the Texas Panhandle, where I could grow up in the dust storms. And we lived out there in the Panhandle where the fires are now, more south than that, near the towns of Littlefield, Levelland, and Muleshoe. And that's how I got here. All right, KWOZ, Dan, talk to us, K5LYN.
Yeah, good evening, Lynn, all the other boat anchor supporters. This is Dan, KWOZ, in the middle of Houston. Just talking on the standard old Kenwood GSA 30 with the matching VFO and tuner and speaker and all that stuff. Microphones, for a Kenwood MC50. And the antenna is an inverted V up about 42 feet and an L-shaped inverted V. Because it's on the corner of the lot, and it seems to work. I did raise my 40-meter dipole, one leg of it up about another 10, 12 feet yesterday. It seems to be really working good. It's flat from 71.05 to 7,300. You can't beat that. Okay, that's it, Lynn. Thank you for picking me up, KWOZ.
Very nice to hear you this evening, Dan. Okay, was there an AI5AM John around there a while ago? Maybe he was just passing by. K5LT, talk to us, Lyle.
Well, good evening, Lynn, and everybody else on the net tonight. This is Lyle outside of Bernie, Texas. And tonight I'm running the usual, the Heathkit SB101, into the Heathkit SB221 amplifier out to a double extended ZEP antenna running through the cedar trees. And so nothing new, nothing great, too new here. But, Lynn, I heard you talk about growing up in the Texas Panhandle. Well, I also grew up in the Texas Panhandle, out west of Amarillo, in between a water tower and a bunch of Cadillacs sticking out of the ground. So that was my backyard.
Hey.
So I also got to experience the dust storms and rolling tumbleweeds piled up against the fence. So wouldn't trade it for anything. Loved it. So, but anyhow, nothing new here. Back to you, Lynn. K5LT.
As far as we know, those Cadillacs are still there, aren't they?
Yes, they are. I think they moved them once, a little bit closer to town after I grew up and left, because they were a little bit farther out. And I also should say pretty close to the helium plant.
Yeah. Well, that's a landmark in the Texas Panhandle up there outside of Amarillo that we all grew up with. But yeah, I was actually in Lubbock where I was, but I wasn't going to say that. I thought Muleshoe was more familiar to a lot of people. All right, Lyle, great to hear. Anything else for the group?
No, I just spent a lot of time out between Hereford and Vega, and yeah, when the wind blew one direction, you smelled the feedlots. When the wind blew the other direction, you smelled the sulfur plant. So always something. So also, I remember one time it was freezing cold on the 4th of July. So interesting weather. So them poor people with all them wildfires up there, gotta pray for them too. So nothing else. Back to you, Lynn. K5LT.
All right, moving on down the road. Hey, KC5L, Tom, talk to us.
Hey, good evening, Lynn, and everyone on the net. Tom, KC5L in San Antonio. And tonight we're on the usual here. We're talking on the Central Electronics 200V with the D104 microphone, and it's driving the matching 600L amplifier. And that goes to a Johnson KW Matchbox and a homebrew doublet up about 15 feet. And we're listening on the R390A. And your 10A sounds great, as usual. That's all I have, Lynn. Back to you, KC5L.
Central Electronics, that was how it all started. You and I celebrate that every week nearly. Great to hear you, Tom. All right, W5MP, what about it, Mike?
Okay, hello, Lynn, and all the members of the net. This is W5MP, Whiskey 5, Mike Papa in North Houston. And I'm running the Drake TR4. It's about 54 years old, as per the serial number database on the internet, a handy serial number database by WB4HFN.com. And my antenna is a dipole, 125 feet long, fed in the middle with the so-called ladder line. And that comes down to a homebrew antenna tuner, a.k.a. antenna tuner, also known as the impedance matching network. It uses a pair of dual roller inductors synchronized and a homebrew one-to-one balun on the input. And that's wound with Teflon coax and 5 stacked cores of mixed 43 ferrite. Anyway, the station microphone is the Electro Voice 664. And there was some talk here on the frequency earlier about static crashes coming in. That is true. They're starting to get worse, and they'll be really bad in the summertime. I believe those static crashes that we're hearing, which peak, get so obnoxious in the summer, are actually caused by lightning. Lightning horizontal between clouds, left to right, right to left. I believe that's the cause of that static. When I was in an airplane about 10 years ago, coming back from South America, I had 4 hours in the airplane to look out the window, and I saw that it went on and on and on and on, and I got to thinking, this is kind of electrical energy. I continuously like that. That must be the cause of the static that we're hearing on the ham band. So this time next week, if somebody can look into that, maybe they can have a report on our desk to confirm it. Okay, that's all I wanted to say, and thanks for letting me in. It's a pleasure to hear everybody with the old-time radios, and they're still good for who knows how many more decades. After we're all dead and gone, they could potentially still be on the air. So this is W5MP, Whiskey 5, Mike Papa. Go ahead, Lynn.
Quick question, Mike. Being a traveler in Latin America, where were you in South America?
I went to visit my wife's family in Cartagena.
Cartagena. Okay, I've been to Colombia many times. You and I need to talk, okay?
Oh, yeah, sure. We have an apartment in Barranquilla in Cartagena. They're rental apartments.
Okay, yeah. Well, we will visit. I'll be in touch with you. All right, let me pick up my friend Phil, then we're going to give this to somebody else. Hey, N5PF, Phil, talk to us.
Good evening, Lynn, and everybody. This is Phil, located in Vicksburg, Mississippi, N5PF. I brought in a KWM2, and I've got a Bob Howell's dual line microphone on it. Rest in peace, Bob. Wonderful equipment. I've got another one sitting here hooked up to Yaesu. I've had 2 others that I moved on with the radios back in the 90s. One on a ICOM and one on a Kenwood. Anytime I get a radio without a mic, I get a Howell microphone, and I've never had a problem with it. And anyway, my condolences to his family. Running it's KWM2 with the Collins 3001, and I've got a case dipole at 50 feet. And I got a reflector on that, and you guys are just a little north of the west end of it. I don't know how much I'm reflecting back from the Gulf Coast, but I don't need it to the south, so I've got it all going north, and it works real good. We got a college group 2 nights a week, and most of those guys are Yankees. They're up north, and I talked to them just fine with 600 watts, and they're running kilowatts and 1500 and whatever. But anyway, it works good. Back to you, Lynn, N5PF.
Okay, Phil. Your usual good signal, and we'll talk again probably on Sunday. All right, I said I was going to pass this around here. And KM5QS, Jay, I told Annette in your absence that we really missed you. You've been the spirit of this group for a long time. So let's give it to you for a few minutes, and you can pass it around. We got Doug here to help out. We got Rusty, and I'll be here. KM5QS, K5LYN.
Okay, Lynn. This is KM5QS. Thank you, sir. I'll take a few and then pass it down to Doug, and we can go from there, I suppose. I am on a modern rig this evening, but after I go through this almost 45-year-old amplifier, Alpha 374A converted 3CX800s, then it goes to an iViking NB5A tuner, and everything after that is homebrew, antenna, feed line, and all that good stuff. So some of it's old. You can't kill that tuner. I just don't know. It's a pretty good thing. All right, Boat Anchors Unlimited, this is KM5QS. Who's next?
N0AMG.
Tango Foxtrot. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, QS, give me your name again, over.
Now, this is Jay, Juliet Alpha Yankee. Go ahead, Terry.
Okay, Jay, mighty fine. I was looking at something else here. Well, everybody's sounding good. What little bit I've heard, I just walked out here. Name's Terry. I'm located near Laurel, Mississippi. And I'm on the regular old stuff tonight, R4B receiver with a 100V, Central Electronics 100V transmitter. Driving my trusty old SB220 to about 600 or 700 watts out. Not driving it too hard at all. Got the old SB614 Heath scope and up to my double bazooka up at about 45 feet. All that stuff's pretty old, but I got it all beat. I turned 80 this year, or last year actually. So that's my input from this end, Jay. KN5QS W5 Tango Foxtrot, over.
Okay, Terry. Well, I'm chasing you. I'm 78. I'll be 79 in October, so I ain't too far apart. You're 20 over down here. Doing fine. 100% copy, no problems at all. It sounded great. That Central Electronics sounded really good. Thank you, sir, for checking in. We'll catch you next week. Who's next?
November 5, Delta Juliet Papa.
DJP, go ahead, sir.
Hey, Jay. Good evening to everybody out there. I'm on my solid state, my Kenwood TS570, but I am using a Shure 444 microphone and a Mertz 2008 Trends Match with my SB200. And I'm using a Delta Loop. I have a Delta Loop up about 35 feet. And that's about it, Jay. Back to you.
Oh, okay. Remind me, what's your first name?
Oh, Jay, yeah, the name here is Mike, and I'm in New Caney, Texas.
Okay, Mike, I should have known better. I don't have my other list in front of me. A little slow this evening, but anyway, yeah. Well, the microphone, the amp, and the doggone it, that gets you in the ballpark. Sounding great. Thank you, sir, for checking in. Give me somebody else.
November N0AMG.
N0 question mark?
Alpha Mike Golf.
Oh, Richard. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, good evening to everybody that can hear me. Name's Richard, Springfield, Missouri. Tonight I'm on a Kenwood Trio TS801, which is a 10-tube radio with a single 6146 final. Microphone's a MC50, and that's going into 922 Kenwood out to a 80-meter loop. That's it, Jay. Thanks for picking me up.
All righty, no problem. Everything's working good tonight, even though I've got the RF gain and stuff to just kill the noise and let y'all come blasting on through. So thanks, sir, for checking in. Who's next?
Whiskey Delta 5, Foxtrot Bravo Whiskey.
FPW, go ahead, sir.
Hey, good evening, Jay. This is Rick up in Round Rock. Tonight I'm running my Swan 700CX, circa 50 years old or so. Running barefoot, probably around 350, 400 watts PEP, using a Shure 44 mic out to a in-fed half-wave antenna up about 35 feet. Other than that, had a beautiful day today and just tickled to check in on the net and say hello. How copy down there in Alice? Over.
20 over, plus a little, and crystal clear audio. It sounds great. It almost sounds good as my Kenwood.
Roger. Well, thanks a lot for running the net ball this evening. 73s to everyone, and we'll catch you on down the log. WD5FPW, back to net control.
Okay, Rick, I was just kidding. It really does sound good. Okay, KM5QS with the Boat Anchors Unlimited. Next.
K0SED.
Hello, Steve. Go ahead.
Well, good evening, Jay. All the boat anchors. Oh, man, you sound good tonight. Anyway, I'm just on the old 520 barefoot, and that's the boot in from here. See you at Belton.
All right, Steve, looking forward to it. It sounds good as usual. You still got it working. All right, who wants to follow Steve? Come on. Uh-oh, I think I got an OS. Was that correct?
KE5Q, Jay.
Do it again and go ahead. The ending in Q.
Yeah, Jay, it's me, Kilo Echo 5 Quebec. I'm remote, but I'm barefoot. I got a loose connection or something. Anyway, Jim, KE5Q, over.
Yeah, I got you now, Jim. There was, I don't know what it was, static crash or something, but anyway, you're good now.
Yeah, okay. Well, I was going to say that I was running, I'm running an ICOM 7300 remote. We're up here in Virginia for a couple of weeks. But I was going to say I got a boat anchor, which is the SB200, but it's been intermittent. I think it's maybe the ARB 704 control box cable or something. I don't know. Anyway, just wanted to check in, and we'll be coming back on Monday. So we'll check in from the house. Again, we're barefoot on the 7300 into the Ultimax 8040. KM5QS, KE5Q. Thanks a lot.
Okay, Jim, no problem. It all worked out. I was probably not doing something right. Who knows? Oh, okay. Well, I'll take one more and then I'll pass it to Doug. So who's next? Ooh, try that again. There was two of you.
November 0, November Whiskey Papa.
November 0, November Whiskey Papa, I believe you said. Go ahead.
Yeah, good evening to everybody on the net there. It's Dennis here in WT, Rogersville, Missouri. I'm on an 830 this evening with an MC80 and an MC50 microphone going through an HF auto streamer and onto a 80-meter loop, and that's about it. Good evening to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you for checking in. It's been a pleasure to get back on the Boat Anchors Net this evening for a little while, and thank everybody for their kindness and all that. And I want to assure you that I will be at Belton. I will be at Belton, and I appreciate everyone. Y'all have a good evening. I'm going to turn it to Doug. Doug, go ahead and kill it.
Okay, Jay. Hey, thanks. Thumbs up, my friend. Yes, Belton is therapeutic. It's been proven. Okay, real quick, one comment. W5 Mike Papa, Mike, plus 40 dB. You get the Big Signal Award. No doubt about it. Okay, folks, this is Doug Whiskey Bravo 1 Echo for the Boat Anchors Net, and I'm taking check-ins if there's anybody that would like to check in to the Boat Anchors Net. Solid-state rigs are allowed, no problem. Plastic radios, what have you. Buy, sell, giveaway. Check in, come now.
November 0, Golf Victor Kilowatt.
Okay, I have, I'm going to take a couple, and then I'll go back down the list. I have November 0, Golf Victor Kilowatt. Next.
KC7LH.
Okay, I have KC7 Lima Hotel. I'll take one more. Okay, I think I got enough of that, the Sugar Fox. Okay, great. Thanks, guys, for checking in. I have November 0, Golf Victor Kilo. Good evening. Welcome to the Boat Anchors Net.
Yeah, good evening, Doug in the net, WB1E. This is N0 GVK. And tonight, Doug, I'm checking in on my Galaxy GT550 station with a triple 4D microphone. Got all the accessories, speaker console, VFO, watt meter. And I'm running that into a Galaxy 2000 Plus amplifier that I resurrected. It was an eBay find. Uses 10 6HF5s. And it's putting out about 600-700 watts into the off-center fit antenna 30 feet. WB1E from N0 GVK.
Yeah, real good, real good. Hey, you know what I got in my hand is a Galaxy Crystal calibrator. It's missing the crystal, you know, the long, tall crystal. I think it's a I forget, 1 meg and it's got a tube in it. And right now in this lighting, I just can't make out which one it is. Are you interested in that thing? A Galaxy Crystal calibrator. It's got an octal socket. Over.
Oh yeah, I could find a home for it.
Okay, so you're good on. I know you're good on QRZ. Is your email okay also?
It sure is, Doug.
Okay, QSL, yeah, 550 station, sounding great. Thanks for checking in. Going down the list, I have Kilo Charlie 7 Lima Hotel. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Doug, and to all the net. This is KC7LH. I live in Wichita, Kansas, and the handle here is Doug. And I'm running I restored an HW12A here shortly, a couple weeks ago. And put in new caps and all that, and then a couple of potentiometers. I'm running I also restored the HP 23C power supply. And I'm running a Shure 44 microphone, Shure 444, multi-band dipole at 25 feet. I'm also working on the Vox on this rig. I can't get the delay to work right, but I think I know what's wrong with it. So I'm just running a foot switch instead, which works really well. And then right next to it, I have a Hot Water 101 that I'm beginning to work on. So I'll pass it back to you, Doug, KC7LH.
Fantastic, Doug. Hey, man, thanks for checking in. Well, yeah, the paper cap's the first thing. People, some folks, they say, well, the lights come on. Yeah, well, not for long. That power transformer is really strained when those filter caps are not operating correctly, and they could be shorted. You never know. But yeah, you're going about it the right way. I can't wait to hear it. And good luck on your HW101. And from Wichita, Kansas. Awesome, Doug. Thanks for checking in. All right, going down the list, I have a whiskey something Sugar Fox. Sir, come now. Welcome to the Boat Anchors Net.
Hey, good evening. This is Whiskey Bravo.
Well, okay, I have a S7 noise level, and you're right at the S7 noise level. So, but in between you and me, there's some of these pesky, springtime thunderstorms. But besides that, no problem. Good DX quality modulation. You're doing good for 300 watts. Over.
Okay. Well, thank you. Look for you next week.
Yeah, well, thanks for checking in, and make sure you don't forget us on Wednesday nights, folks. You don't have to have a plastic radio to check in. Okay, next for the Boat Anchors Net, I'm taking check-ins. The list is empty. This is WB1E. The name is Doug, and I'm taking check-ins. Come now.
November 0, Delta Hotel.
Okay, I have a November 0, Delta Hotel Bravo. Stand by. Anybody else?
W0, WOW, Elk City.
Yeah, I know who that is. Okay, I'll take one more. Okay, nobody heard. I'll start the list. November 0, Delta Hotel Bravo. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the Boat Anchors Net. Over.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. This is Terry, Radio Yankee. And tonight I'm talking on my ProMark Rockwell Collins KWM 380. Microphone is a D104. Running into a L4B amplifier, doing about 600 watts. That's running into a G5RD antenna. Of course, I've got a tuner in there, an MP3000A. Anyway, that's about all we got here. Back to you.
A quick question, Terry. What are you driving that L4 with as far as power goes?
About 50, 70 watts.
Yeah, it's just idling. Well, very good. Well done, sir. Into the L4 600 watts. Geez, that's like cruising in a Ferrari. Very good. When you're making it, I think it's about S9. So it's doing a good job there, Terry. So, all right. Well, I'm going to move down the list here. It's a little bit of QR Nancy, but that's only because of the lightning. So somebody's getting rain. All right. I have a great call. Wow. W0WOW. Good evening. Welcome to the Boat Anchors Net.
Yeah, I always enjoy coming by here and checking in here in the old radios. It's really fun. This one is 45 years old, young for some of the ones I hear on here. And it's a Kenwood TS520 with the matching speaker. It's doing about 130 watts tonight, PEP, into Ultimax 4080 dipole at 50 feet and a D104 static microphone. And you guys are really booming in. Some of you are up to 20 over 9. That's very rare on this radio, but always pleasure to hear them. And back to you, sir.
All right, real good. What was your name again, sir? I'm sorry, I forgot.
No problem. Gary, Elk City, Oklahoma, Route 66 on the air. That's us.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear. All right, well, that's one of the better sounding 520s I've heard for only 130 watts. Good grief, but the feed point being at 50 feet, that's certainly a nice thing to have. Yes, I'm pretty spoiled. I pull mine up against my 100-foot tower, so my feed point's at 90 feet, and so there you go. All right, Jerry, thanks for checking in. Well, Rusty, don't know if the pond's been fished clean. I haven't heard you in there, so I'm going to give a call out to W5KR. Rusty, this is Whiskey Bravo 1 Echo. Over.
WB1E, WK5R. Mighty fine there, Doug. Appreciate it. And tonight, I'm on a boat anchor that I've been working on. This is Swan 500CX. Just put a new set of feet in it, man, getting and so it's putting out there. And the microphone is a Alexa voice. I think it's a 641, if I'm not mistaken. And the rig is driving the homebrew GS35B amplifier. That goes into a homebrew tuner and bypass smoke. I don't need it here on 80 and 35 meters. So that's a homebrew fan dipole into the only tower. So that's what we got here. So who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
JB0, who's that?
Yeah, go ahead, Terry.
Yeah, okay, thanks, Rusty, for giving me a good evening all the way around to everybody here on Wednesday night at the Boat Anchor Net. I forgot about it being Wednesday, and I got home from work here early and turned the rig on, and I heard the net getting started. I thought, oh, yeah, I had to switch over here and get on to the green boxes. Rusty, tonight we're on a set of Heathkit twins. We got the 401 transmitter and 303 solid state receiver. Boy, I love this receiver. I don't have to let it warm up for it to get on frequency. And we're driving the SB220 Heathkit that I've not had on the air for quite some time. So we're getting it up there, right up there a gallon. So it's working A-OK. So
Anyway, that's kind of the story here, Rusty. Thanks for getting me in. KB0U, okay.
Okay, very well. The twins are sounding good. The old green twins are sounding good there. Appreciate you checking in. Who else is out there for the boat action up now?
WJA.
Hey, good evening there, Jim. Looking forward to maybe seeing you Friday there. Go ahead.
Hey, Rusty. I'm still on my new rig, but I'm going to pull fire out of y'all with that E20. Right in here before too long. 730. Back to you, Rusty. Inside WJA.
Good day, Jim. Sounding good there. You keep you later. Who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited Club now? Anybody anywhere? You can on the Boat Anchors Unlimited Club. Anybody else out there? Come now. Well, just might have been right. They have fixed the Box Hill Dry there. So, back over to you, Lynn. K5LYN WK5R.
All right, Rusty, do I still sound like I'm in the ballpark here? K5LYN.
Yeah, just a little bit, but you're close enough.
All right, well, people bear with me here a little bit. This is K5LYN, Lynn and Austin on the Central Electronics 10A. And if I missed the boat in terms of frequency a little bit, let me say why that is. I figured out how to transceive with this exciter with a Drake R4 receiver with the transceive adapter I built, but it moves a little bit. It drifts when it gets a little bit off. And the 5 watts out of the 10A is driving a homebrew amplifier, a 1-tube sweep tube amplifier, which then drives the Drake L4B receiver. Drake L4B amplifier, sorry about that, to about 400 watts here. All right, hey, we had EDX. Byron, are you still there somewhere? How about it? K5LYN.
Yeah, Whiskey Alpha 5, Emperor David X-Ray.
Talk to us.
Okay, Dan, didn't know if you'd hear me or not. Boy, the thunderstorms came in here right about 2 minutes before net started, and we really had a downpour, a little bit of pea-sized hail. So I had trouble hearing everybody just because of the racket on the roof, but man, I'm sure glad to get some rain. And it's just slacking off a little bit, so that's the story here. What you hear me through the storms on is a Heathkit SB102, barefoot of course, and Heathkit Electro Voice made microphone, and using the same old inverted V up about 35 feet. That's the story. Thanks for calling in, guys, and we'll see you all next week. And I guess we can start a countdown to Belton pretty soon, just a couple of months away. Back to you, Lynn. WA5EDX.
Very fine, Byron. We are absolutely counting down already. Great to hear you. Nice signal out of your station. Hey, and let me say hello to my friend WB0SNF in Nebraska that broke in a while ago. Marshall, I can hear you. Not strongly, and we got a little bit more noise than usual, but you were there. All right, who else we got for the net this evening? K5LYN calling and listening. Now, there must be some of those earlies we didn't get picked up a while ago. Did we get all you guys? All right, maybe we've done it here this evening. Anybody else want to talk vintage radio whatsoever at all this evening before we wrap it up for one more week? I'm listening. Well, Jay, let me see if you got any final comments there. You might turn it to Doug, see if he has any, and we'll wind this thing down. Okay, Jay, welcome back. We sure have missed you. K5LYN.
All righty. Well, thank you, Lynn. I've missed it. I've missed it myself. Just unavoidable. But yeah, it's so much for that. We'll get along. Everything's going to be all right sooner or later. And just speaking of that, is there anybody that we missed out there that just has jonesing to check into the Boat Anchors net? I suppose not. Well, I appreciate every one of you. It's amazing. Maybe we don't think about it often. That's what Belton's all about, celebrating our friendships and our relationships and how much we really do care about each other. I know. Don't get all sloppy. Back to you, Doug. KM5QS.
All I can say to that is amen, brother. Amen. Yeah. Okay. Well, it was a lot of fun tonight, as usual. Springtime storms, but the conditions seem pretty good. Got some pretty good long-distance contacts. We didn't have anything in Michigan, and I forget what the longest one we have had. Anyway, Lynn, if you know, you may want to comment. But that's all. And I'll send it. I was going to say some, but it's good enough. Thanks for everybody for helping out. Back to you, Lynn.
We've had Florida several times. We might have had somebody in New York one time. I'm not sure, Doug, but of course, when the net gets recorded, it is on YouTube, and we've had people text us from all over the world. So the net is well known. All right, anybody need to talk to us before we wander down for another week, and we'll see you guys next week for sure. K5LY, I'm listening.
Okay, man. Appreciate everybody checking in. For the Boat Anchor Unlimited net. The out there coming out tonight. We're going to shut the door. Come in. All right. Appreciate everybody checking in, and we look forward to you next week. This is K5R, now closing the Boat Anchor Unlimited net at 8:06, and the grand frequency to normal amateur abuse. WK5R Center.